All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Potential Project. I hope you're having an amazing Tuesday. If you've caught on by now, I've been releasing these every Tuesday at 5 a.m. in case you early birds want to get up and listen to this. But they'll be popping up every Tuesday. So look forward to different messages or guests coming in the weeks to come. Today, I wanted to start with a story or a scenario. And if this story resonates with you at all, continue to listen. So let's imagine we are waking up, our alarm goes off, and we grab our phone, turn off the alarm. We immediately check all the texts that came through while we were sleeping, any emails that we missed yesterday. We're checking up to see which sports team won, and then we're scrolling through Instagram a little bit. Then we get up, we hop in the shower, we put on music to listen to while we're in the shower, get changed, get in the car, pop on a podcast or some music on our way to work. Then we're in work, we're in meetings, we're doing things focused all day. And then we drive home, throw on some more music or another podcast. We come home, we cook dinner with the TV on. We probably eat dinner while watching our favorite episode or sport game. Then we get in bed, we scroll on Instagram a little bit more, and then we go to sleep and do it all over again. My point in saying this is that this has happened to me, not maybe to that extreme, but parts of that throughout the day. And I've stepped back last week to really acknowledge that. And I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today. And maybe you can see where this is coming up in your life and some of the benefits to adjusting that and how it's harming our life, right? So I'm not saying it's so detrimental that you're a bad person if you're on these things. There are times and places for social media and for TV and for emails and music and all those things, but the point in today's message is attention, right? Attention is so important to think about, and it can hold us back from living a life that's stress free and blissful and exciting, right? You do all those things throughout the day, and then the day goes by, and you don't even realize what just happened. To me, what I've acknowledged is when we have anxiety or stress or fears or a low self image, and we all deal with these in different levels of severity. But what we do is we take up our attention with other things to silence the real feelings that are going on, right? So if you need to be getting stuff done, but you're trying to make yourself busy with listening to a podcast, and I know this is a podcast. Like I said, there are time and places for these things. But what I'm saying is, if you're constantly looking for your attention to be somewhere with noise in your ears or watching something, you're really missing out on a lot of the good things in life. So to bring it back to basics, right? And I don't mean to get into quantum physics or anything, but there's a reality about life. Like we are awareness, right? If you can focus on something, that's when you feel the enjoyment, that's when you feel the pain, the physical sensations, like wherever your attention is at, wherever your awareness is at, that's what we are. And when it's distorted and taken away, you're taking away from who you really are. So my point in saying that is your attention, it's your biggest superpower. So let's start off with the perks, right? Whatever you're able to really focus on and give your attention to, you're able to do at a high level, right? Like a race car driver is not sitting in there with the car and texting, right? That's not possible because they're giving all of their attention on the race, on the car, on the fuel levels, on the other cars around them, and the task at hand, right? And you've felt this before when you're working, when you're working out, when you're doing stuff throughout your day and you're solely focused and your attention is on that one thing, you're doing it better. So when I say it's your superpower, it's that when you really put your attention and effort into that one thing, you're going to enhance the things that you're doing. Sounds stupid, but when you're eating, if all you're focused on is chewing and tasting the flavors and enjoying that, you're going to digest your food better. You're going to receive more nutrients from the food. Like, this stuff is scientifically proven. I'm no scientist, but it's out there. You can go look it up. If you are paying attention and being present while you're eating, you're going to get more benefits out of the food. Same thing goes in anything else. If you're studying for an exam or a presentation that you have to give and you're giving all your attention to it, you're going to do better at that thing. So when we're clogging up our day with another song or another episode of TV or just constant chatter in our brain, we're not allowing ourselves to really tap into the source of who we really are. And this came into play for me because that story that I said in the beginning, that was happening to me, right? I would notice every opportunity I got was to pop on another podcast or something. I like to learn, right? So I'm listening to podcasts that are nonfiction that talk about health and wellness and personal development, and they're all good things, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they can be a distraction as well, right? Some people might not like this term, but whoever coined it, I don't know, but they call it mental masturbation, right? Like, you're constantly searching for things that sound good. You're listening to some guy give a speech, some motivational thing, you're learning things and it feels good, but you're not actually doing the thing that you know you should be doing or making progress in the right direction. It's just kind of noise, right? So in my life, I noticed that this was happening a lot. Every time I hopped in the car, ooh, put on that audiobook. I'm going for a walk. Ooh, podcast. Let's go. Um, you're in the shower, like, always trying to listen to something. And then it just felt overwhelming the one day. And I was like, let me stop. So recently I've been doing phase 2 of 75 hard, which, if you're familiar with the program at all, it just involves an outdoor workout for 45 minutes. For me, it's been a 45-minute walk. And so on these walks, a lot of times I would put my headphones in and I'd be listening to a podcast or an audiobook. And I'm like, cool, two birds with one stone. Let's learn as we're walking outside and get some fresh air. But then a couple days, I said to myself, let's not bring the headphones and let's just go be with yourself, with your thoughts, whatever comes up, take in the day, look at the houses, just experience life, right? Stop trying to clog up all of the stuff that's going on in your head and just let it be. And when I allowed that to happen a couple times, I came to a realization of a couple things within my personal life and in my business that aligned with me way more personally, right? So owning the fitness studio and owning a business, I'm always thinking about what's the right move to move us forward, to get people the best results, to make people enjoy the experience. And for a while, I was following a method that wasn't totally aligned with me. And until I took out the noise and the podcasts and all that extra chatter in my ear and just listened to myself and what felt right, I was able to get clarity on that and make a few decisions that ultimately align with who I am as a person, my vision, my mission, and just make the joy in life come back. Right? If you've ever been stuck in a rut where you feel like numb almost, where it's so monotonous, you're day in and day out, there's no joy, there's no lust, there's no excitement, then there might be a lot of stuff going on taking you away from who you really are. And maybe you don't own a business, maybe you work for someone else, but because of all the noise and all the stuff that's stealing your attention, you stop doing a hobby that made you excited. Like, maybe you played guitar, or you had this little, like, you played basketball on Tuesday nights, like something to look forward to that isn't your everyday job that you got rid of because of all the noise. So listen to yourself, and maybe through the silence and through being present, you're able to see what some of those things are that your body's craving. Like, maybe you were an artist growing up and you really just want to go draw for 30 minutes a day. Like, that stuff is the juice in life that we all need to make the other areas better, right? Like, if drawing really gets your creativity flowing and gets you in that flow state and makes you happy, then whether that's your job or not, you should probably be doing that from time to time. So my point is that your attention and your awareness are your biggest superpower, and the world around us has made it so easy to clog up that noise with anything. You could be having your headphones in all day long and be listening to stuff and not even be listening to your own self. And my reason in saying that is, again, back to the quantum physics and whatever you believe, whatever religion you are, whether it's God or the universe, there's a higher power out there, right? And we can feel that in a sense of communication, in a sense of knowingness, like when people say, listen to your gut, like those decisions that you know you should make, you're not able to clearly make them if you're distracted from all of the other stuff out there. If you're able to remove those things, you're able to listen to your gut, listen to your heart, and make the decisions that align with you and are ultimately going to send you down a path of life that you're going to enjoy and probably be more successful at in the first place. Another thing to bring to mind that maybe you never thought of before is that your attention is the biggest industry in the world. Billions, if not trillions of dollars are spent on your attention alone, right? Like you go on Netflix, for example, the sole goal of Netflix is to get your attention. If they can get you to spend an hour watching an episode and make it so good with the hooks and all the things that like the cliffhangers to get you to watch another episode, they're winning, right? And I'm not saying you shouldn't watch TV, but you have to realize Netflix is a multiple billion-dollar company, and their only goal is your attention. The more time you spend watching their movies and their shows, you're not doing anything else. You're doing that, right? YouTube. Why do you think people on YouTube who have big accounts get paid so much money? Because the ads that they serve on their accounts are getting your attention. If you're spending your time on your phone or on the computer watching YouTube videos, that means you're also seeing these ads. So they're willing to spend billions of dollars in ad money and paying these influencers. And same thing on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, right? If you're on TikTok and you blink your eyes and it's been an hour and you've just been scrolling, that they've done what they've seeked out to do. They want your attention, because if you're spending it there, you're not doing it being productive or doing anything else. And I don't mean to say this in a negative sense, but the people who own TikTok and Instagram and Netflix, they're doing just fine. They make tons of money. But if you are a consumer of that and you're not doing what makes you the most happy, and you're just sitting there scrolling and putting your attention on that, well, then that means they're staying ahead in life. You're not able to pursue your passion and do what really lights you up and makes you feel good because you're spending your attention on them. So my point is saying, like, notice that it's a billion-dollar industry to just get your attention. The goal then would be to silence the noise, right? If I'm saying that all of this attention can be a bad thing, which it is, if you let it consume your every waking second, it's a bad thing. The goal is to silence the noise. And when you do that, you're able to just allow thoughts to come in, scenarios to play out, your feelings to be heard, and you're able to get in touch with what you want and what makes most sense to you and sort things out. The other thing that I'll point on this side of things is that you're enough, right? Like I feel like we're always looking for information or approval from someone else. Like, oh, this guy in that book said to do this thing, so I'm going to do it. Now that's good. You should seek mentorship. You should seek advice from folks who are doing what you want to do. But a lot of times you are enough, right? We get this feeling of imposter syndrome. We go through series of anxiety that we're not good enough and people are going to judge us and what if this and what if that. It's like you just being alive was a miracle in itself. So if you don't think that's enough to fulfill a life, then maybe you need to, sit back and analyze that you just being alive and having vision and being able to walk on 2 feet, like all those things you can be grateful for, is enough to do all of your wildest dreams. And I'm not there yet either. but I'm just acknowledging it, reminding you so that we can do this together. So let's work on silencing the noise. And the ways that I like to do it and you can do are number one, you can go for a walk and don't bring your headphones. Don't even bring them. If you want to leave your phone at home, fine. If not, if you can control yourself, keep your phone on silent in your pocket, just go for a walk. Look at the trees, take in all the sights, the sidewalk, right? Like feel your senses. What do you see? The different colors, the different buildings, the shapes, the sizes, the sky. Then focus on the noise. What do you hear? How's it feel to walk? Like, feel your feelings, right? Allow your thoughts to come through and just get clear on yourself. Just allow that stuff to happen. It's pretty cool, honestly, when you're walking and you're like, "Ooh, I never noticed that this is the way it feels in my hips to walk, and my toes do this when I walk." And you're really able to get in touch with that. And when I first started doing that was this walking meditation. It was guided and it showed you to focus on one sense at a time, and it's pretty cool. So give that a try. Another thing that you can do is meditation, right? It can be a 5 minute, 2 minute, 20-minute meditation where you're putting things on do not disturb. You're in a quiet, dark place. Close your eyes, focus on your breathing, allow the thoughts to come in. You can't stop thoughts. That's just what your brain does. That's like telling your heart to stop beating. Your brain is going to think thoughts, allow them to come in and allow them to go. Just relax, be with yourself. It gets uncomfortable because we're so used to not being with ourselves, and we're so used to, oh, real quick, let me check Instagram real quick. I have 2 seconds while in between bites of my food, I'm going to check Instagram. It's like chill for a little bit, do a quick meditation. You can do some breath work, which specifically focuses on timed breathing, on your inhales and exhales. You can journal, right? That's like meditation, but reflection, right? Like you're letting the thoughts come through, but you're just writing them down on paper. You might get a great idea. You might solve one of the biggest problems that you have in your life by just being by yourself and allowing the thoughts to go and flow on paper. And another one that I recently did was your phone, right? Like people always say, give a phone detox and turn off your phone for a week and delete your apps. And cool, you can do that stuff. But the sooner we realize is that the phone and social media and apps and technology is going to be a part of our life, we have to make small adjustments to that instead of going full blown, like throw my phone out. I bought a flip phone that can only call and text. Like you don't need to do that to get a little bit of clarity, right? So the one thing that I did was I took my social media apps, and you can take off your notifications so you don't see that little red dot in the corner, because that is programmed for us to want to go hit it, right? That's like science, that's biology, but you can take those off. Then I took them and put them in their own little folder because, on the home screen, you can batch them into a folder. So they're even smaller. And then I put them on the third page of my home screen. So it's not the first page. You have to swipe twice, hit a folder, then go into Instagram. That's a little bit more of a barrier to entry to use it than if the notifications are on and it's right on your home screen in front of your face. Again, whether we like it or not, we have phones. We're all on them all the time. We can grab it, open it up, look at your home screen. You're doing that hundreds of times a day. So if the first thing you see is, ooh, Instagram notification, you're clicking on it. Next thing you know, it's 20 minutes later and you're watching someone's, proposal that they did, or, honeymoon pictures, whatever it is. It's probably not important to what you're doing in your day and in your life. So I take the notifications off, put them on the second or third page. This way there's a more barrier to entry to even going on the app. And to go off that, it's good to hack all things that are taking your distraction, right? So like anything that you would normally do, it becomes a habit. So you have to be aware of that and hack the scenario, right? Like for example, the going for a walk thing. Like if you're so used to just popping in your headphones and going for a walk, you have to be aware, like set a reminder to not bring your headphones, or don't even put them in your pocket, because if you do, you're more likely to open them up, put them in your ears, and Next thing you know, you're clouding your mind. So there are tons of other ways and things that you can do to remove distractions from your life. But I wanted to give a couple examples so that maybe you can make a step today to adjust your home screen on your phone or take that into consideration. And please try it, right? Whether it's just going for a walk or if it's just trying meditation or if it's, you know, turning off the music when you drive home from work, right? Like everyone thinks I'm a serial killer because some days, if I've had constant noise and interaction with folks, I'm not listening to music on my drive home. I need it to be peaceful and just allow my thoughts to play out and just calm down. Try one of those things, see how you feel, and let me know. So I'll leave you with this, that if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. You can always like and comment on here. You can subscribe. That would really help, and leave a review. And also reach out to me personally, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, or if you know me personally, let me know topics, people, things that you want me to talk about on here, because I'm no guru. I'm just coming from a state of, this is what I'm doing, and let me share with you my experience, because I'm a normal guy just like you. And if I can benefit from some things, you might be able to too. So I hope you have a good rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you next week.